jawaabteedu waxay ahayd dawladda Mareykanka waxay ka qabanaysaa wixii annaga aan dhahno dawladda Mareykanka qabo waa kalsoonidaas inaan isku qabno annaga Soomaali hadii aan nahay wadankan annaga ku nool wadankan wadankii aan annaga tax ka dhiibno waaye waa wadankii gabar idinka dhalatayne ee Congress-ka fadhiso intii aniga aan Congress joogo wadanka Soomaaliya biyaheeda dad kaleeta iyo badeeda dad kale ma qaadanayaan wadanka Mareykankana kuma taageerayo dad kaleeta in annaga ayna dhacaan marka taas ka seexda.
A few moments later.
Oh yeah, the Somalians have it figured out in Columbus. I went to the Walmart on Georgesville to see if I could see people filling their carts or just kind of see what I could see. It's not the way they do it. They've got it figured out way better than that. Every single Somali restaurant has a grocery store right next door or within eyeshot of the restaurant. The specific one I went into today had it attached to the restaurant. And wow, what an adventure that was. Stay tuned for more on that. Anyways, the grocery store and the restaurant were the same building. So they don't have to go to a Walmart or a Sam's Club or a Costco necessarily. They can just order everything they need to their grocery store that's right next to or attached to the restaurant that they also own and never have to fill a single cart. And I guarantee you, if you looked at the records of those grocery stores, they lose tons of money every year, and it's probably used as a tax write-off because those groceries are being funneled into those restaurants, with a daycare center on the opposite side. And that's the common trend you'll see. There's restaurants, grocery stores, and daycare centers, and also home health care businesses. I can't forget the home health care businesses. Nakia was absolutely right. And the reason for the daycare centers I found out while I was at Walmart. 3/4 of the workers I saw working in Walmart, especially the cashiers, were Somali women. You gotta figure if you have 2 or 3 wives that you don't have to claim, these women can go work at Walmart full time for $15 an hour and still qualify for food stamps as long as they have a couple kids, which you can guarantee you they at least have 2 kids. Hell, they average 7. Or same story as working as a home health care aide. They have most definitely figured out the system and how to take advantage of it. And Columbus doesn't break down its numbers like Minnesota, but if anything like the 88% of the Somali community is on social services in Columbus, I can only imagine how deep the fraud is. So I'm changing tactics and going back up Monday, and I have a couple ideas to see if I can't sniff a few things out. Thanks for tuning in. Keep it icy.
Nothing I dislike more than the politician that sits there and lies to you. And we all just sit there rolling our eyes going, give me a break.
Not one person ever in my office has ever used the word Latinx.
So can we finally put that to bed?
Yeah,
we agree?
But where did that even...
No more Latinx,
like,
everybody.
Well, I just didn't even know where it came from. I'm like, what are people talking about? Impactful this has been on the Latinx community. Latinx community. Politicians that are banning not assault rifles, but the word Latinx.
Last night, trying to put my son to bed, he's like, no, Dad, what time? What time's Charlie going to be here? What time? And he wasn't a fan of him. We had peak homelessness under Arnold.
Yeah. Did you legitimately believe that he was capable of serving as president until January of 2029?
Yeah, I think my focus was frankly situational. It was making sure Donald Trump didn't get back into office to experience everything that we're experiencing today. And there was no interaction I had that suggested otherwise. And we all just sit there rolling our eyes going, give me a break.
Don't you hate it when politicians treat your hard-earned taxpayer money like it's just monopoly money? Last week, Gavin Newsom asked Congress for a supplemental appropriation of $34 billion in federal money for long-term recovery efforts in the Los Angeles area. Guess what he's asking for? It's a long list, so we're going to have to skip to the parts that I think is so interesting. Do you remember when $100 million from the Fire Aid concert just disappeared, and then they defended themselves by saying it's for grants? Well, guess who wants more grants? Newsom, $4.3 billion in economic development grants, $130 million for mental health response grants, $12.8 million for community service block grants. Guess what? The word grant kind of makes me think these are all nonprofits and NGOs that work here. The same nonprofits and NGOs that bankroll Gavin Newsom and continue laundering money in his homelessness profit freaking industrial complex. But let's also get to the most interesting thing in the money he asked for. Remember when Newsom and his office called me a conspiracy theorist? Do you remember that? Because I was saying that they were trying to put affordable housing in the Pacific Palisades. Well, boom. Guess what Newsom asked for last week? $2 billion for affordable housing to support the creation of 6,500 affordable housing units. Oh yeah, Gavin Newsom making a play for the Palisades is why probably he hasn't done anything for the actual fire victims for 11 months, because he doesn't want us to rebuild. He doesn't want us back in the Palisades. He wants him and his friends to rebuild it how they want, and that is facts now.
If you thought that Minnesota Governor Tim Walz had a real bad problem with welfare fraud in his state, Gavin Newsom saying, hold my beer, buddy. Newsom's welfare fraud is exponentially worse than Tim Walz's, but the liberal media nationally, they're not paying attention. They're not holding him accountable. There's almost no discussion of it. Newsom allowed $30 billion in fraudulent welfare payments to be issued by the unemployment agency, and now small businesses in California have to pay off all of that debt through higher payroll taxes. No coverage of that scandal. And it is much worse than what happened with Tim Walz in Minnesota. Walz is accused of allowing $250 million of food stamp fraud to occur to Somali organizations. And Newsom is sitting here with multi-billion dollars worth of food stamp fraud. His food stamp fraud rate is 13.4%. That's 3 out of every 20 benefits managed by Newsom's administration for food stamps, completely fraudulent. And when it comes to funding left-wing organizations like the Somali community in Minnesota, California is funding all sorts of left-wing NGOs. And a lot of those NGOs are using taxpayer money for politics. The liberal media isn't covering any of this. But now you know.
More Somali fraud has been exposed out of Ohio. This is getting out of hand and they're all being exposed. Listen to this. Somalis in Ohio are allegedly running EBT fraud rings using SNAP benefits to stock their restaurants, skimming cards to make millions. More than 34,000 Ohio households have been duped out of nearly 17 million in SNAP benefits from June 2023 to December 2024, with Somali migrant criminals using skimming devices at grocery stores to clone magnetic strip cards and steal the money, according to the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services. In addition, a recent report details how Somali-owned restaurants and grocery stores in Columbus are exploiting benefits. According to the report, migrants own restaurants with attached grocery stores that they own. They buy their ingredients in bulk with SNAP from their grocery stores, then funnel the food to their restaurants where they sell it for cash. One report claims that the Somali migrant men who own the restaurants typically have numerous wives. That's crazy. They only have to claim their first wife so that subsequent wives are able to collect welfare benefits that are then used to prop up the stores and restaurants. This comes as of a 2022 audit of Somali Community Link. A Columbus nonprofit funded in 2020 by Somali migrants exposed a reported $2.3 million in fraud from federal emergency rental assistance program funds. The investigation flagged missing rental aid, violations of cash management protocols, and inadequate fraud safeguards. Despite these failures, the group, tied to local politicians via campaign donations, secured $350,000 in state funding last summer for a community center, plus $100,000 from Columbus for housing and youth programs. Back in 2020, Somali brothers Hassan and Abdurrahim Noriso, former owners of Tawfiq Market in Columbus, were indicted for a 9-year SNAP and WIC fraud conspiracy totaling over $10 million. The duo allegedly swapped benefits for cash at half the value. Abdurrahim, who oversaw operations, was sentenced to 2 years behind bars. Hassan got house arrest and probation after a guilty plea. So you can defraud SNAP benefits for $10 million and you get house arrest and probation. Only if you're Somalian, I guess, because if I do that and if you and I do that, we're gonna go to jail for a long, long time.
I think for some strange ass reason, immigrants, y'all Somalis think because we black, we supposed to stick with y'all. No ma'am. We don't share an allegiance because I'm black. Ma'am, I'm an American. There's a big fucking difference. But Theodore Roosevelt said, it ain't but one flag. That's the American flag. He said it ain't but one motherfucking language, and that's the English language. And he said above them all, it ain't but one loyalty, undivided, explicitly, for the United States of America. If that ain't what the fuck you about, then you ain't about what I'm about. Being an American first and only, honey. Not nothing in front of it, not no stipulations behind it. We not the same.
Okay, I got something to say. Okay, I'm at work. It's 2 o'clock in the fucking morning and I'm at fucking work. Okay, these bitches come in, don't speak English. Okay, oh, and all of a sudden they're white racist behind the counter. Okay, this is what the fuck they ring up. Look at this. Nothing but fucking junk food. Nothing but fucking junk food. Look how long this bitch is. Look how fucking long it is. And guess how much they were raining balancer? Guess how much these two racist fucking pieces of shit that has come into my fucking country, and you're making fun of me because I'm standing at a fucking job at 2 in the fucking morning? Well, guess what? I got another job to go to when I get off of this one at 6 until about 3 in the afternoon, and then I got to get some sleep, and then I got to turn around and do it all over again by 11 o'clock. So you motherfuckers that come into this fucking country and treat us like shit, I hope they bounce you out of this country so fucking fast that your fucking sombreros are left behind. Guess how much these bitches get? Guess how fucking much? Let me fucking tell you. $3,247 motherfucking tax dollar fucking money. And then insult me. Oh, look at the talking Spanish, looking at me, laughing. Oh, the nasty white bitch. Yeah, I said, oh, get out of my motherfucking country. Get out, you worthless motherfuckers. Get the fuck out.
You know, more and more every day, I'm starting to have a real disdain for Jasmine Crockett. She is such an insult to all educated black women in America. She perpetuates the stereotype of a ghetto black hood woman, something she is not. Let me tell you something. Jasmine Crockett went to private school, which ultimately means that her parents, her 2-parent household, took the time to invest into her education, which ultimately means by geographical fact that your private school was probably somewhere in the suburbs, which 9 times out of 10, I'm pretty sure she didn't even grow up in the hood. And as a matter of fact, she went to one of the best day schools in St. Louis, actually out of the entire country. Jasmine Crockett has had more privilege than any black American that I can ever think of. She legit grew up in the suburbs, mansions. Her tuition alone, per semester or whatever, cost well over $30,000. So why the act? It's a literal case of code switching. Now, I get it. You know, I do a little bit of code switching myself, but see, it's a time and a place for everything. See, all that popping of the neck and batting them long eyelashes, I don't know what this rhetoric that she's trying to perpetuate, I don't know who she's trying to give it to. Being all loud and country, like, are you trying to, I don't know if you're trying to relate to like your constituents, your black constituents there. I don't know what this is all about, but it's a complete disgrace for you to sit up here and perpetuate and make yourself seem lower class by acting and talking the way that you do, because you wasn't brought up to be that way. Your parents invested in you, and this is the way that you return the favor by acting ghetto. See, Jasmine Crockett is the reason why black people that live in the hood, such as me, have a hard time, you know, it being accepted that the fact that I'm a real educated black person that live in the hood, because I'm expected to talk ghetto. And here she is, choosing to cosplay. See, that's why Jasmine Crockett is relatable to the nigger population. Niggas love Jasmine Crockett. Why? Because she's relatable. She's also a Democrat. And what is the makeup of the Democratic Party? A whole lot of niggatry. She's trying to relate to her audience. Meanwhile, I see through all of it. So while she's trying to blame Trump for everything, calling him a thug and etc., her district actually sucks. That's where the focus needs to be on.
She didn't marry a black man. She didn't birth black children. She has no idea of the black experience. She's not even from Texas. What you are about to hear is long for a reason. The woman clawing her way into the Senate race from a state she isn't even from represents the exact same machine that has devoured black families since 1960s. She is the latest mask on the same party that tore husbands from wives, mothers from children, and annihilated half of our people before they even took their first breath. We should be a nation of 90 to 135 million strong, and yet we stand at 48 million souls because of policies she celebrates with a grin. No fluff, no smoothing of the edges, just the brutal truth that exposes her record as an assault on everything our ancestors prayed. They literally prayed for through chains, whips, and Jim Crow. If this doesn't hit 70% listen time, the algorithm is going to bury this, and the deception will continue, sadly. So let this run through your bones and share it with your children's like your survival depends on it. Because as an American, it does. Jasmine Felicia Crockett. That's her name. Jasmine Felicia Crockett has blood on her hands, the blood of abortion. She parades around as a champion of reproductive justice, but is nothing more than an architect of death in neighborhoods already stripped of hope. In April of 2025, she co-sponsored the Abortion Care Awareness Act, pumping taxpayer money into marketing campaigns that target the very wombs crying out for restoration. She wears her 100% pro-choice score from the Reproductive Freedom for All like it's some kind of a trophy, but it's a marker of complicity. She voted no. Remember that. She voted no on the 2023 Born Alive Abortion Survivors Protection Act. She said, let them die, ensuring that if a black child does survive an attempted abortion, the child would be left alone in the cold to die. And this is supposed to be progress. Black women, only 14% of the childbearing age in America, account for almost 42% of all abortions. Over 360,000 black babies gone each year. Each year, 1,000 empty cribs every sunrise. Since 1973, 20 to 25 million erased. That is half of the missing population. That's marriages that never formed, fathers whose arms remained empty, mothers who grieved in silence without the father even knowing that she was even pregnant. This is not justice. This is generational theft. It hollows out the very foundation that allows black husbands and wives to build empires. Our grandparents bled for the nuclear family to survive, and yet Jasmine Felicia Crockett fuels the very machine designed to erase it. There's a character in the book by Harriet Beecher Stowe called Quimbo. And Quimbo killed people that actually did the most to protect their own community. They're gatekeepers, like she is. Listen closely. Then the welfare trap she strengthens with every proud vote. She calls it compassion. They're just rephrasing, using words to rephrase things. It's a noose dressed up as progress. Her votes on boosted child tax credits, her cheerleading of entitlement expansion, and her 2024 Community Housing Act pump billions into a system that punishes marriage and rewards fractured, broken homes filled with illegitimate bastard children. You bring a husband into the picture and the benefits vanish. So families break by design. This isn't an oversight. This is Jasmine Felicia Crockett. It's intentional architecture. So families break by design. In 1965, before the Great Society detonated the black household, out of wedlock births sat below 24%. Today, it's nearly reversed. They tell her at 72%. And where do the children of this collapse end? Well, they end in poverty 85% of the time, double dropout rates, gangs as surrogate fathers. When married black couples raise children, they generate stability, ownership, hope, legacy. But her agenda destroys the incentive for that structure to even exist. She votes to expand the very system that keeps mothers alone, fathers absent, and children unfathered in communities spiritually feral and lifeless. That's not compassion, folks. That's Jasmine Felicia Crockett. It's a quiet demolition. Her cultural crusades finish what the welfare state actually began. Lyndon B. Johnson wanted to see Black America crushed while using flowery language and using terms like hope and reproductive health. She pushes an agenda that dissolves the husband-wife order that kept us intact for generations. She flaunts it. She flaunts her dedication to file and pass safeguards. Well, safeguards for who? The LGBTQIA+? Well, those causes she champions while ignoring the fact that 70% of black Christians still cling to biblical beliefs, biblical structure that preserved us through centuries of torment. She forgets, I thought she was a preacher's child. Preacher kids, PK kids. She's a demon, folks, dressed up in a suit, calling herself a black woman. She backed the Equity Act, which would force gender ideology into every school, church, and workplace, cutting out the parents, pastors, and every elder entirely. Children already adrift in single-parent homes are being taught that identity is like your mood, not a calling. The nuclear family is rebranded as an outdated relic. That's not inclusion, that's erasure, folks. It strips boys of becoming men and girls of becoming women. It dissolves the roles that produced stability out of nothing for centuries. And she calls it progress. Then her war on our right to survive in the neighborhoods that her policies destabilize was waged. She screeches for assault weapons bans and expanded background checks while black families in violent cities are already outgunned 10-1. Yeah, that's right, 10-1. Black gun ownership, even in Texas, surged precisely because husbands wanted to protect wives and wives wanted to protect children. Yet her policies slammed the door in their faces. She isn't reducing violence, she's disabling protectors and empowering predators. In communities where homicide rates are 10-fold, disarming law-abiding citizens is not safety. Jasmine Felicia Crockett, it's a sentencing. Now let's put this all together. Her record is a direct siege against the black nuclear family. She stands starkly against the husband, wife, and children. Starkly. Abortion that erases our future, welfare that destroys the present, culture warfare that attacks the order that held us together for millennia, gun restrictions that leave us defenseless in the aftermath. Our fertility fell from 4.5 to 1.6 after 1965. The Democrat plan is working. It's working to erase Black America. And she is a cog in the wheel to make sure you and your generations don't see light. Precisely because policies like hers suffocate the family unit that produces the life we want. 48 million of us remain when 135 million should stand. 3 generations wiped out, our demographic strength gutted, our lineage more than halved. Jasmine Felicia Crockett isn't an accident. Jasmine Felicia Crockett isn't an accident. She's a continuation, a modern Quimbo in the exact same machine that once wore a hood instead of a hairstyle. A mouthpiece for the system that feeds on broken men, wounded women, and unborn children who never had a chance to breathe. That is what Jasmine Felicia Crockett stands for. She didn't marry a black man. She didn't birth black children. She has no idea of the black experience. She's not even from Texas. Black America feel this, especially black Texans. Feel every life missing from the dinner tables. Every father never born. Every mother that never held her child. Every legacy stolen before it began. Let this truth burn through the deception that has enslaved Black America for the last 7 decades. Share it, spread it, refuse her in 2026. Our ancestors demanded survival. They endured hell so that you and I could live. Don't let their sacrifice end, or worse yet, die in silence under Jasmine Felicia Crockett.
Hey, who is this guy? Come with me, here we go. Look, now he's running. There he is, he's running away. What's going on? You got a problem with us live streaming or what?
I mean, this ain't where you're from.
Is there a problem with me being here?
You're a white person.
What was that all about?
Y'all don't pay the stolen land tax?
You're white as well, dude. I don't know what you're trying to say.
And you're whiter than him,
No,
Billy.
you're white as well. I don't understand where you're coming from.
Because you gotta take accountability for it.
Accountability for what?
Systemic problems. Because this right here, you're occupying indigenous land here. You're occupying space that isn't here.
Wait.
What?
But I can say the exact same thing to you.
You can. And
you're occupying this
and
space.
we should. We should be calling out people. Honestly, he and
Who
I
is
deserve
we?
to be robbed.
Who's we?
You say we deserve to be robbed.
Yeah.
Okay, take his iPhone. Take it.
Yeah.
Take it.
I use it for mutual aid. You want to help my mutual aid funds? You want to? Okay,
Take his iPhone. Take his iPhone.
You just said you didn't want it.
Dude, I use this to help people.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
You want to go
Who do you
talk
help?
to Rhonda?
Who do you help?
I help Rhonda. I help my friend Corey.
You just said
I
you
help
deserve to be
my friend
robbed,
Omar. I help so many people that need this. Because that's the way that I connect with people.
They need this.
I do as much as I can.
But no,
They
you
need this?
but you just said you deserve to be robbed.
It seems like you need this.
He needs a phone. He needs a phone. Help him out. He needs a phone.
You want this phone? Come get it. Come get it.
He said he deserved to be robbed.
You know what Kofi is?
Come get it.
We can do that.
Come get
Look,
it.
We can do that.
Look, now they'll
We
take
can
the
do
phone.
Kofi. We can do
it.
Kofi. I use this without money.
No, you said you deserve to be robbed though.
I use this
Break
for
this
mutual
bitch
aid.
in my hand.
And you'll be hurting people.
Who?
You'll be hurting my friend Corey.
How?
My friend Corey needs resources.
Okay. How are you helping your friend Corey so far if she doesn't have those resources?
Because I give them to her.
Where's my $30?
As well as several other
Giving it to
people.
her and actually allowing her to
So you
have
said- you said-
the
you said you
choices
wanna
of
help
This guy
people.
said
all
he deserves to be
different-
robbed. I don't want to be robbed. We're not gonna let these kids rob him.
Two different things.
But see what happens when he says, "I deserve to be robbed,"
You're not
and then he
either.
gets
I am here for
robbed.
people.
See what happens?
Listen,
He doesn't want to get robbed
I
because
get
nobody wants to get
upset
robbed.
at people
No one
like
deserves to get robbed.
You should.
This guy's a lunatic.
Huh?
You should be.
Should be what?
You should be upset with people like me.
I am. That's why I'm finna rob your dumbass. The fuck?
Why?
Huh?
I mean,
why?
you
Because
you
you're
can't.
on indigenous land, not your
Yeah.
land. My people's land. Fuck is you talking about, nigga? I can do whatever the fuck I please on my land. Now give me the phone.
I need it to help people.
No, you don't.
I do.
No, you don't.
I got 10. I got $10.
Give me $10.
Wait,
and I'm
man,
gonna
I
take
know
the
you
phone.
got more than $30. Show me your wallet. I bet you got $30.
Go to the bank. Go to the bank. Go to.
Not what?
Wait, we still
Because-
getting the phone. Let me get the phone.
And you see this, people? You see how the cycle works? I said I wouldn't take the phone. My little niggas, on the other hand, I didn't say nothing about them.
He said he deserves to get robbed.
Yeah, he did.
When I first announced my run for Congress, I had this random white woman, liberal, walk up to me and ask, well, what about you isn't Democrat? To which I responded, well, besides my skin color, what about me is Democrat? And it was at that very moment that she realized that God gave her enough common sense to ask me about my values. Now, don't get me wrong, I was raised to vote Democrat down the ballot, so when I first started, I would say things like, I'm a Republican, but I'm not a conservative. But now I know all too well I am a full-fledged, hardcore conservative, and I'm proud of it. I mean, my favorite saying is I was born black, not Democrat. But in all seriousness, whenever I began to think for myself politically, the choice was easy. I mean, why would I want to belong to a party whose mission is to infringe on the Second Amendment as if a criminal would ever participate in something like a mandatory buyback? Why would I want to belong to and endorse a godless party? Because there is no such thing, and I mean no such thing as a trans child. We have confused children and sick, enabling adults. Why would I want to belong to a party that takes pride in shedding innocent blood? Number one, as if that's not what God hates. Number two, as if there's not a black market for baby organs. And number three, as if abortion clinics didn't start in the hood. Because if you think Trump is bad, you should research exactly who Margaret Sanger was. But speaking of the black community, why would I want to belong to a party who's responsible for the foundation of the Triple K? But it's not just that. Supposedly in the 1900s, the party switched, right? But what never changed, what I noticed never changed, is Democrats' love for immigration and how they have always prioritized that over the black community. I mean, imagine every single Democrat leader helping you joke about what a black job is in 2024, exposing your ignorance on 1924 and how imperative the Immigration Act of that year was, how it was all reversed in 1965 with the Hart-Celler Act, how Congress refuses the advice of the Rockefeller Commission and the Hesburgh Commission, and how to this day they refuse to adopt the Barbara Jordan Blueprint, validating every single thing that Dr. Claude Anderson spoke of generally, but specifically what Mrs. King spoke of in 1991 with her letter to Congress. Now look, I'm not saying that the Republican Party is perfect. No, nobody's perfect. What I'm saying is I side with Malcolm X when he said that the liberals were the worst thing that could ever happen to the Western Hemisphere, but y'all ignore that, just like how y'all ignore LBJ saying, and I quote, "I'm going to have Negroes voting Democrat for the next 200 years, and by God, 60 years later, I see no sign of recourse, but rest assured your vote is your voice, even if it is a whisper."
When it's time to go, you can choose how. You can wait for enforcement, or you can leave on your terms. The CBP Home app lets you self-deport with dignity, directly and securely. Don't wait, decide how it ends.
Crying harder, crying harder. Trump is your president. Crying harder, crying harder. Trump is your president.
On the 3 unfired casings read, "Hey fascist!" exclamation point, "Catch!" exclamation point.
Do you think Donald Trump is a fascist?
Yes, I do.
No one has ever been more dangerous to this country than Donald Trump, and he is a fascist to his core.
And shut down the city! We are at war!
We're in a war right now.
We are at war.
So you have to be willing to do whatever is necessary in order to save the country.
And that's why the gloves are off.
Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic.
And yes, there are many threats to democracy. We see it with these extreme candidates.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be.
You can only push people so far, and then they start to take matters into their own hands.
What the American public want is for us to bring actual weapons to this bar fight. This is an actual fight.
You know, this is literally call to arms.
The MAGA movement is a threat.
But Michelle says that, when they go low, we go high.
No. With all due respect, if they go low, we don't go high.
When they go low, we kick them.
We take them to the mud and choke them out.
And make sure that they stay down. And you know what? Kick them when they're down, because they deserve it.
Get up in the face of some Congress people.
We are going to be in your face. We are going to be on your...
We have to fight this in the streets.
We're going to fight it in the streets. It's time to step out of your comfort zone and step out into the streets.
To our Republican colleagues, if you do not see the light, we will bring the fire. Resist! You and your little friend off of Twitter. Y'all about to find out.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
He's not going to have a third term. He may not finish this term.
That's the last few days you woke up thinking there might be news. Just saying. Just saying. There will be news sometime. Just so you know, there will be news.
want to be remembered for courage for my faith. That would be the most important thing. Most important thing is my faith in my life.
But if you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.